You're getting a glimpse inside the Ann-Gotlib investigative file, seeing how early the suspect, Gregory Oakley, was on the radar of police and why police were watching him in the first place. Ann-Gotlib disappeared in the summer of 1983. Her mother reported her missing. She was last seen alive at what was then the Bashford Manor Mall. 25 years later, police announced Oakley, who had died years earlier, was responsible for her disappearance. But the little girl has never been found to this day. For the past 3 years, Shay McAllister's been fighting for access to the case records from police. Finally, we're getting them. And Shay, what did you find in this most recent group of documents that just came to you?
Well, we know back in 2008 is when police finally announced they had a suspect in this case. It's the first time public heard the name Gregory Oakley. However, for the first time, we're seeing here through these documents we just got how much police suspected him and how much earlier, Doug, they actually had him on their radar within 7 months of her disappearance.
I think I had every bit of probable cause to make that arrest if he were alive.
2008, 25 years after Ann-Gotlib was reported missing, LMPD's lead homicide detective Barry Wilkerson announced the department had proof Gregory Oakley abducted the little girl.
I think I could put together a perfect package with the Commonwealth attorney.
It was the first time police publicly acknowledged Oakley in the case. But according to investigative documents, detectives considered him a suspect as early as January 1984, just 7 months after Gotlib disappeared. According to this document, exchanged between federal agents during the winter months of 1983, special agents developed 3 possible suspects in the Gotlib case. The first was a 26-year-old man from Somerset, Kentucky, who had kidnapped a child and tied them up using shoestrings. The second was a man from Louisville who was under investigation for a child rape. The third was Gregory Oakley. At the time, he was a USDA meat inspector who had recently been arrested in another attack on a young girl in Louisville. Officers were able to rule out Suspect 1 and Suspect 2 using their alibis, and that shifted the focus to Gregory Oakley. The document listed evidence against him, including the location of his house, just 1.5 blocks from Ann-Gotlib's, 2 blocks from where she disappeared. He had also been charged with rape 2 years earlier and arrested in another case involving an attack on a little girl that same month. Finally, records show he failed a polygraph when questioned about Ann-Gotlib. Investigators needed to learn more, so they began a nationwide search for evidence. Oakley traveled for work, so federal agents launched investigations in every state he visited the year of the abduction, from Charleston, West Virginia, to Fort Worth, Texas, and all across Kentucky. Federal agents looked for evidence of Ann-Gotlib or Oakley's possible tie to similar crimes. These records don't show us what the agents found, but he was deemed armed and dangerous. At this time, Oakley was in custody in Jefferson County, arrested on attempted rape and assault charges involving a little girl in Hikes Point. He would be convicted in that case and serve nearly 20 years in prison.
Doug, we've been trying to get these records for years. Now they're giving them to us in batches. So we got a little bit earlier this year, and then we just most recently got another batch here last week.
Was Oakley already in jail when he first came on their radar so many years ago, as you said, just a few days after her disappearance?
Yes, so what actually put him on the radar was the fact that he had been accused and then arrested for attempting to rape another little girl. And that's what got their attention and said, hold on, we need to be looking at this suspect, and he quickly became the main suspect.
The details seem so vivid, even back to 1983 with this case, because this community, we just watched it so closely. And you're getting more evidence from police, and people can find that easily?
Yeah, absolutely. So we've been working on this for several months. We have other big stories that you can find on our website right now, WHAS11.com. We'll bring you more documents when we get them, Doug.
All right, very good. Thank you very much, Shay.